Hey everyone. Lately I've been revisiting like a lot of the recordings that I've been doing for a while, and as you can tell, that I've been uploading recordings on here like crazy. And I decided to just do like a little bit of a live mixing of something that I've been working on for about 9 years. Let's see if we could dive into this together. Um, Before that, I should really open up my phone to view everything in case people comment and I'm not seeing the comments coming up. And I'll just, mute this out as well. Um, let's dive into If I Could Fly. So what we have here is the Magic Music program, and these are what the tracks are. So tracks 1 through 3 is a 12-string performance that has been doubled up or tripled up to give us like a nice stereo sound in the 12 string. Then we have like a clean electric guitar, we have a distortion electric guitar, and then we have two lead guitar parts. Now I don't know what. Okay, I think 8 and 9 are like a piano overdub that was done. Yeah, piano intro overdub, leading to the main piano parts, which is tracks 10 and 11. And then we have a synthesizer bass, which is very weird because um, it may sound like I'm playing like a 5 string electric, but it's actually a keyboard that I'm using for the bass. And then we have like the drums right here, and then we have like an edit of a effect that I put on it. And then track 18 is a vocal that I'm gonna share with you all later, just to get see what you guys think about it. But first, let's dive into the track itself. So let's put up the mixer, and this is what we got. Oops. We should go back to the beginning, shall we?
One, two, three. Okay, again. One, two.
Okay, so if my memory serves me, so I did a piano part right there, which is tracks 8 and 9, because when I recorded the piano, originally they were missing, and I realized that it didn't sound right at the beginning with just the acoustic 12 string. So I recorded this with it to accompany the 12 strings, which is tracks um, 1 and 2 and 3.
Okay, again. One, two.
And then we bring in tracks 10 and 11. Now let's hear the 12 strings. This is like one of many recordings that I've done that I really love using the 12 string because it really works on this song. Even though it is a type of a rock song, but um, when you have the 12 strings like sort of like in the middle of the mix, it really blends in with the electric instruments, as you will hear from tracks 4, 5, and 6. let's hear 4 and 5 together. Track 4 is a clean electric. Both of these are using a Fender Telecaster, just using different tones on it. Now, I'm not really sure why I chose to have different types of lead parts. I think it's the same lead part on 6 and 7, but they're both EQ'd in a different way, but they both work with each other against the mix. So let's bring everything back. Let's listen in track 12. Now, if you listen to the track, I'm not sure how everything sounds going from StreamYard into YouTube, but if you listen to this track when it's all mixed down, you would never have guessed that the bass is actually a keyboard bass. And that was achieved by using a Yamaha EZ250i keyboard. And I was just basically on my knees playing the whole part on the keyboard, the bass parts. And for some reason, the way that I played it, in a way, sounds as if I'm playing an electric 5-string bass, which I would have employed the 5-string Dakota 5-string if I didn't leave it home that day, and I totally forgot it. Because on the demos, I did like home demos of that song here, and I used the electric 5-string on those demos, but I forgot to do it during this tracking session to bring it to the recording studio. Let's bring everything back now. Okay, here's another thing too. Now for the drums, I'm not sure what did I use on the drums. I could have possibly used the same Yamaha EZ1250i keyboard, or I might have used the keyboard settings on the Korg LE workstation, the Korg Titan LE workstation. My friend had a studio because we didn't have like an electric drum set to use. So all the drums is all done by keyboard. It's not done by a drum set or an electronic drum set. It's all done keyboard. Now let's listen to the entire mix all together as it is as a backing track. Here it is. The cool thing that I love about doing my recordings is that I like doing like a little thing where I'm warming up the instruments before the master click is done.
1, 2, 3. Okay, again. 1, 2.
And the reason why I love doing this is because I like how when you hear like sectionography recordings of either the Beatles or Beach Boys or the band, you hear them warming up the instruments and just going into the track instead of like how everybody does it, where it's just you record a piano or something like that, press record, and that's it. I like the sound of it sounding like it's an actual band playing. to say, out of all the songs I recorded throughout my life, this is probably like my favorite that I've ever done that I did a lead guitar part on. Because I am not a real lead guitar player. Um, I'm at best a rhythm and bass guitarist, so I'm not a lead guitarist. But on occasion, I could pull off a decent lead. And on a very special occasion, like for instance this recording, I could do an amazing lead as if I've been playing the guitar all my life. And this is where a lot of my music theory has really worked in my favor. So then I learned where all the notes are in the scale of the song, so I could work off of that from that theory. And plus it helped out with the melody line on the vocals, which you will hear later on. Here comes the lead. That was very cool to do when I did that lead. I didn't think I had it in me when I did that, even though I did rehearse it, but I didn't think it was going to come out all that great until finally when I got around to record the lead part, and I just did that in one take. If you look at the entire, when you close the sound, if you look at the entire lead guitar resample of that part, it's all just one track. It's not like it was separate performances all cut into one. It was all an entire one performance, one take, which is very, very rare for me to do. So I'm usually a 15 take kind of person. I especially love this ending lead right here. Again, that lead really takes me by surprise because I am not a lead guitar player. Um, but yeah, it was basically just done in one take. That whole lead part of the entire song, just in one take. It was. I didn't have to go back and do multiple takes of it, so I was so happy with do that. Now we're gonna let you hear the song with track 18 unmuted. Now track 18 right here. This is the very first vocal performance of the song. The very first time that I walked into my friend's studio in 2014, this was like back in late January, early February, when this whole part was recorded. And the first time I just put it onto basically tape or hard drive, if you will, and sang the entire thing. And the funny thing is, I've done multiple takes ever since then. Throughout the years, I've every year I always came back to the song, re-record the lead vocal, and every time that I do it, it always fails. The only time that I came close to getting like a better version of the lead vocal was probably when I recorded. I took my iPhone with me as you should, anywhere you go. Um, and my iPhone had GarageBand on it. And I was working at Coachella in 2019, and I took the time before I had to work, since no one was in the tent that I was working in. I just basically went in there, put some headphones on, and sang like a vocal take into it. And that came out very, very good. But sadly, I don't know whatever happened to that sound file. I still need to look for it. But what you're going to hear right here is the song with vocals. The first time ever singing it. And I like this first take of it. I think that it came out very, very good. But even though the song has not been too satisfying, um, to say the least. So let's see if we could bring the song up into a point where the track actually begins. And this is the first time you're going to hear the vocal of the song and basically the storyline of it. So, um, as you're hearing it, say in the comments what you think of it. But here is the song with the original vocal.
Two. I'm so sad that you're far away from me. Not having you right here for me to see. And even though I have you in my heart, it's hard to imagine that we're 2 worlds apart. If I could fly, I would be right here by your side. If I could soar, I would be staring at your door. If I could fly, I could see the love in your face alive. If I could soar, I won't be lonely anymore. No more. Every night I always dream of you. The sky outside is no longer blue. Could no longer see the sun above. All I do is lay down, crying in my bed. If I could fly, I would be right by your side. If I could talk, I would be staring at your door. If I could fly, I can see the love in your face alive. If I could talk, I would be lonely anymore. I'm wishing you were here. Take away my fears. You be my shining light during this cold, lonely night. Don't know how long I could take being alone without you. Doesn't feel like home. till the very end. If I could fly, I'd be right by your side. If I could talk, I would be staring at you now. If I could fly, I could see the light in your laser light. If I could talk, I wouldn't be lonely anymore.
Now, the funny thing about that is that I like that ending, even though I do intend somewhere down the line, trimming it down at that very end part when it just stops. Um, but in a way, it's like it was a thing where I was asking myself, should I fade it or should I just let it have like a code ending? And I decided on a code ending. Now, the thing about this song was that this is how this song came to be. And that is, I was watching some type of video on YouTube that was talking about songs that ripped off other songs. And so they're making an example out of the song Viva La Vida by Coldplay. And apparently they're making the case that Coldplay ripped off If I Could Fly by Joe Satriani. Um, on the basis of the song. And the weird thing is like, there is some similarities, but at the same time, it doesn't sound like they were totally ripping um, Joe Satriani off. And the thing is like, that whole chord progression of that song, it's like, it seems like you hear it from like a lot of other songs going as far back as the 60s. Which some people did make the case that, well, if Joe Satriani is making a case that Coldplay ripped him off, this other band should make the case that Joe Satriani ripped him off because there's like this one song back in '69. I'm not entirely sure what was it called, but they said like, well, Joe Satriani ripped off this song and that goes back to 1969. So why is he making a fuss about it? Um, and so, but I was listening to like, If I Could Fly by Joe Satriani and then Viva La Vida, and I said, well, maybe there's similarities, but I'm not really hearing it. Um, so it was a thing like, I saw this video, it was like a great video. I forgot who did it. It probably was like Miss Mojo, or Mojo or some other kind of thing or Looper or something like that. Not entirely sure who did it. But then after watching the video, I just remember um, basically taking a shower, as you do, and that's If I Could Fly was just basically playing in my head, and I was basically taking a shower, then all of a sudden hearing If I Could Fly in my head, and now coming up with lyrics on top of my head of like how would it sound if this song actually had lyrics to it, and um, when I was thinking about the chorus part, all I was thinking about, like, if I could fly, I'll be right there by your side. If I could soar, I'll be standing at your door. If I could fly, I could see the love in your angel eyes. If I could soar, I wouldn't be lonely anymore. And then I heard like the first verse, which was basically, I'm so sad because you're far away from me, not having you right here um, for me to see. And even though I have you in my heart, it's hard to imagine that we're two worlds apart, you know. Um, some of my best lyrics right there, people. Um, and so it was one of those things where I was like listening to it, I was thinking about it, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna write this. No, no, I don't want to get in trouble with Joe Satriani. No, I'm not gonna write this. I'm not gonna write this. And then as the night progressed, I think that was like it was the third verse came into my head, which was basically shoot, what was the third verse of that song? Um, every night was like the second verse. I think I came up with no, I came up with the second verse because it was only gonna be like a two-verse song. So the second verse came out, which was like every night I always dream of you. The sky outside is no longer blue, could no longer see the sun up ahead. All I do is um, lay down crying in my bed, and then I was like, okay. So I just wrote those lines down, and then the chorus, and then I'm wishing you were here to take away my fear, to bring my shining light during those cold, lonely nights. I wrote that down as well. Um, um, and then and so I recorded a demo of it, like a short demo on the 4 track. And then after that, I was like, okay, I did wrote the song down. I found the chords, made the demo. Okay, great. I'm just gonna put it away, not gonna touch it or anything. Then I started to get the itch of that song again. And I was like, shit, I need to go back and make a full band version of this, at least for me to have on in my own personal files. And plus, I needed to come up with a third verse because I felt like the song could be a lot longer. um, and so I did come up with the third verse, but the third verse was like, I don't know how long I could take being alone without you here. No longer feels like home. What I wouldn't give to be with you again, to live my life with you till the very end. Um, Again, some of my best lyrics right there, people. Um, and um, so I basically did like played it back to myself on the acoustic guitar on this acoustic, which I don't know if you can see it. Um, but yeah, I rehearsed it to myself, and then I went to my friend's studio, and um, and then I did like, the entire version over there. And of course, I forgot the 5 string, so I used the synthesizer bass part on the keyboard. I did a whole band demo of it with that vocal that you just heard. And then after that, I was like, okay, I just did this recording. I have no intention of ever using it because I don't want to be sued by Joe Satriani. And then as time went on, I was still working on what was still known as the Virgin Sounds album, which will be out this year, people. And I was thinking about that song a lot, and I was like, well, I really want to put the song out now. The song is so good. First, I need to re-record the vocal, but mostly I really want to put the song out. And and so I was like, well, how could I go about this while trying not to get sued by Joe Satriani? And so I reached out to a friend of mine, and he said, like, well, you might want to reach out to the publisher and write them a letter saying that you have like sort of like a letter of intent to adapt um, a, the works of a person's song. And so you might want to reach out, I said, like, hi, I'm so and so, I'm a songwriter, and I want to uh, I have a song idea that I want to do, and I want to adapt it by using your client's song. And so they said, like, okay, we'll fill out these forms, and then send us the lyrics and send us like a demo of it, and we'll let you know what our client thinks. So I sent a thing and sent the lyrics, sent that demo with that vocal, which I was not proud of, but it was the only vocal that I had at the moment. And then they wrote back to me, and they were basically like, yeah, my client does not want you to adapt their song. So don't bother trying to release a song, and you really should not have recorded it. But um, just don't release it. Our client does not want you to adapt. And I was like, fuck, because I that was like my best lyrics right there. um, and I feel like that's the song really shows what I could do with by someone just giving me instrumental music. I could take an instrumental and put lyrics to it. And and uh and so I was like, is there a way I could talk to your client? Because I feel like if I talk to your client, maybe he could see it my way. But I think this is the thing where the artist does not really have much control over their songs, and I think there's this type of gatekeeping that happens in the music business where they're still gonna keep you from talking to the artist or the client. And so they said like, no, our client does not want to talk further about this, so it's still a no. So I was like, damn, that sucks. And I played it to a few of my friends and stuff like that, and they loved it, but um, they're like, that sucks that you cannot put it out. This is such a great song, a great tune. And it's like, can you rewrite the music so that it doesn't sound like that? I was like, well, I could try, and I tried it, and it did not work. The music worked perfectly for it. So that was basically the end of that with that song. It was basically like, yeah, the song is up and done. It's not gonna be out or anything. Um, so it was never released. I never put it out, and sadly, I think it's the thing that has held back Virgin Sounds from ever being released because I because they didn't. I couldn't get the permission to release it. And it's sad. Because I think that this song could have really been the song that would make my career. As a songwriter. But yeah, wow, 33 minutes of this video. So yeah, so that's the story of If I Could Fly. And revisiting this whole thing, and I hope that you guys sort of got a kick out of how I do things with my recordings. I know that I talk a lot with you all about like, oh, I sound right and I record stuff, and so that's sort of like an example of one of the things that I've been doing, as well as many other things I've been posting on here a lot. So hopefully you enjoyed this kind of live presentation. I had nothing to do tonight, so I just wanted to just bring this out to show you guys, something that I do. So have a good night, and I'll see you all later.